So kind of tipping that off, is there someone, do you have like a fantasy MVP of the season? It could be based on value, someone that helped you individually, someone you were right on. You can take it any direction you want, but who's your fantasy MVP of the year?
So I got a couple. It was going to be Jalen Hurts until he got hurt. I mean, like I had so much, and fortunately, a lot of people who followed that. That's one that I definitely got right. I said he's in contention for the number one, and I had him at 3. So I had a lot of Hurts, I had a lot of Fields as the backup. So you could argue both of them, honestly. But for overall pure carrying you, there was what 3 bad games, and I put that almost in quote because it still wasn't awful. But Saquon Barkley, man, nobody wanted to believe him back in the first round. And, we sat here, and one of the arguments I made before the season, I was like, hey, if Brian Dable is supposed to fix Daniel Jones and his entire offense, why is nobody back in on Barkley? Like, why are we passing everything to the passing game, but nothing to Saquon Barkley? So that was a big one. I was going to say Tony Pollard before he's out, but I don't think that counts if he's not going to be in your championship game, does it? Like, can we actually say he's an MVP if you only get to use him in your championship game? So I do want to do 2 more. Special shout out Cooper Kupp, because if you take his 8 games before he gets hurt, he's still blowing away even Justin Jefferson in points per game. Don't count the 9th game. He got hurt in that one. But, man, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god, as everybody loves to call him, like, because there was still a skeptical situation of, is it just that volume again? Is Jared Goff going to be able to sustain him again with DJ Chark if he's healthy? Is Jameson Williams going to come back into the fold? And because of all that, this as well as anybody does, St. Brown's draft position is nowhere near the second round. It was like, 5th, 6th round because of all those concerns. And if you're talking about pure value, some of these guys, Barkley was 2nd. He finished 1st round. Tyreek Hill was almost a 1st rounder. Kelsey. But for that value, even just to go from the 6th to the 2nd round, I mean, that's a giant gap. I mean, there's a reason the RB dead zone is in the 5th, 6th, 7th round range, because there's a lot of misses in that area to get Amon. I think overall, I would have to say, because Hurts got hurt, I would go with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, I love that. Those were all guys actually I had good strong conviction on too as well this offseason.
Right?
I was really nervous because one of my things was like, it was ludicrous that Lamar Jackson was going over Jalen Hurts. And when Lamar had those first 3 weeks of the season, I was like, oh, this ain't looking good at all. And luckily we swung around and fortune hit there. But I was really scared. I was like, oh, Lamar's about to drop just a nuke on the season here this first month. But yeah, those are all great ones. And yeah, it's easy to forget because of the injury, and injuries happen. But like Cooper Kupp was having a ridiculous season in an offensive climate that was just a nightmare. I mean, there was nobody doing anything in that Rams offense outside of Cooper Kupp at that point. Matthew Stafford was in the weeds. Allen Robinson was just DOA. We talked about the running backs were doing absolutely nothing. And Cooper Kupp was out here just rattling off production like he was a year ago. So get better, Cooper Kupp. We missed you towards the end of the season for sure.
Yeah, that was my first pick in the flex league. So that's when my season started going downhill.
Yeah, I was really bullish on Saquon too, and a lot of my teams this year started in the back half. If I had any type of draft choice, I always told people that I wanted to pick in the back quarter because you could get Saquon plus an elite wide receiver. And I was really worried about the tier of wide receiver drop-offs. And I had a lot of Saquon Diggs teams, and Diggs, unfortunately, these last 2 weeks really crushed a lot of those rosters. But yeah, those are great choices, though. I love all those. Josh Jacobs would be another guy, too. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the MVP status because of what has happened the last 2 weeks. But he basically was the value pick of the summer, no matter how you draft. It's just unfortunate that what happens in the playoffs, he said, the right pockets of production